Howdy, howdy, howdy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to MCubed. I am your host, Harris, and this lighting never wants to do what I want it to do. I never know. Every single time I do something, it completely changes. Oh, and natural lighting is no good either. Huh? From the front. Howdy, Shelly. Am I going crazy, or does this lighting quite legitimately change every single time? I never know how to deal with all this lighting, but you know what? We make do nonetheless. All right, so I apologize for the 5 minutes of tardiness. I had pork ribs that I had to get going. These ribs are thawing still. I have beef ribs already in the oven, and I have pork ribs for later. And I am ecstatic. I'm excited. I got a big old barbecue going on today that I'm hosting. I do like a monthly barbecue for young people out in the industry over here. Yeah, my lighting is whacked. I don't ever know what to do with it, honestly. Oh, Carrie's here. Howdy, Carrie. So once again, I do not have my damn StreamYards up yet, so I'm just gonna be reading articles. Busy week getting all this barbecue stuff going, but we're ready. We do have a couple fun things to talk about today. I've got a lot of Collider articles, one the Hollywood Reporter article, and then we're starting it off with a big old bang with what the title is called, this Puck article, which is written by Julia Alexander, and it was written yesterday, I believe. It's titled, and it's from Puck, of course, is YouTube the Future of Streaming TV. The least talked about video company is also the most popular, a veritable platform of platforms with billions of users, the one upon which all the other streamers rest. All right. Not a bad way. I'm doing well, Carrie. Hope you're doing well as well. And, of course, I hope you're doing well too, Shelly, and whoever else is here, because we got a couple people. That's always fun. But, all right, let's get going with this article here. It's a decent sized one, so be prepared, and we'll break it into little chunks because it is a fun one to discuss. And we're literally on here every single day. YouTube is I don't use cable anymore, and it's not because of streaming; it's because of YouTube. I love everything YouTube does. It is a fantastic platform and avenue for creators to grow and build themselves, their brand, their companies, whatever, and it's going to be a good place for these bigger companies to downsize to as well. Yeah, YouTube is the most pertinent platform at the moment, and I don't think it's going anywhere. God, what just happened to that lighting? I apologize, y'all. What is up with all this? Oh, look. Okay. I kind of cover that a little bit, and it goes a lot better. Turn that off. It was good for a second. There we go. I'm going to just keep my hand hovered right there. Actually, is it just too bright on this side? Is that what that is? Y'all tell me. Is it? Oh, wow. I haven't had TV in 3 years. I watched everything on YouTube or streaming. Exactly. Shelly, you're probably a prime example because I see almost every time I'm on this thing, people just have it on in the background. Like whenever I'm not just like watching a YouTube video that I'm like specifically like watching, I have music videos on in the background, or I'll have like lo-fi hip hop on in the background just while I'm like doing work or studying or anything of the sort. It's become something just to have on no matter what, and not in a bad way. It's not like, oh, we got like TV programming on no matter what all the time. No, it's something that is I keep using the word pertinent. It's one of my favorite words, of course, but it is much more pertinent in what you want it to be, which is nice. The algorithm of YouTube is based directly upon what you want to see, and what you'd like. It's nicer than streaming, where yes, their algorithms do put the things that you tend to enjoy in front of your face. This lighting is so distracting, y'all. I'm so sorry. But I think it's a much better algorithm in a user interface kind of way than streaming is, just because yes, you can kind of get the right movies and things of like, oh, I like action films from the 90s. It's going to suggest more action films from the 90s. But there's a dozen different genres to pick between all the action films in the 90s. Where have you been watching all the Stargate episodes from? Oh, I've been watching them on Amazon Prime. I thought I responded. I don't know. Can't find Sci Trek on a TV channel. YouTube has priorities. YouTube has priorities. That's what I'm saying. And I'm just saying, I watch YouTube from my TV all the time, so it's kind of nice. It is essentially just kind of replacing it. But for Carrie, at Stargate, I'm pretty positive it's on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime for me. You're in the U.S., I believe, right? Because at least over here on the West Coast, it is. I don't know if they do different things for different regions or what. I don't think so. Not positive. Not positive. But if it's if normal, because even whenever it wasn't like on Amazon, I think it was on Amazon, but like in older quality, not as good quality. I'm not positive. Okay, Carrie is Canadian too. Okay, that was one of the two. I just knew she was north, because I was close in Maine. But yeah, all right. Well, I think Stargate's on Amazon. Pretty sure. Fingers crossed. Stay optimistic with it, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll jump back into here real quick. Here, let me clear my throat without making loud noises in front of all y'all, you know? I was extra dramatic because there was no noise. So, of course. Here we go. So, pop quiz. What's the #1 video platform? The #1 destination for advertisers, which also has the fastest growing connected TV operating system and hosts more than 2.5 billion monthly active users? If you're not in the industry, you'd be forgiven for not knowing that the answer is YouTube. The 18-year-old social video platform gets far less media attention than Netflix or even Hulu, its most direct competitor in the streaming TV market. But it's not an exaggeration to say that YouTube, including YouTube TV, which offers 100 or so cable and broadcast channels for $73 a month, has quietly become a frontrunner in the battle for the future of over-the-top television. Of course, television is a fluid concept these days, with cable in determinal decline, social video, YouTube, TikTok, etc., soaring, and a dozen or so companies fighting to recreate or rebundle the pay TV experience for the streaming era. YouTube, despite producing original content and hosting billions of user-generated videos, isn't quite competing in the same category as streamers like Netflix or Max, whose growth relies on their pipeline of originals and well-worn old reliable hits, plus the algorithm that suggests them. Instead, YouTube seems to have broader ambitions, and it has several key advantages that could position Alphabet, its parent company, to compete with Amazon Prime Video as the platform of all the platforms, the one upon which most other streamers rest. So that's just interesting itself. That's the first large paragraph there. And it still says that, Carrie. I don't know, Carrie. I'm not sure. Maybe do one of those VPNs and make it look like you're in the US, and then maybe you could watch it again. I'm not sure. Or the UK or wherever. Just change your location on a VPN, and that might help. I'm not entirely sure, honestly. But that bit of the article is interesting. It does tell you that YouTube's. I mean, we know just without kind of thinking about it, we subconsciously kind of realize, yeah, YouTube is that big, because I mean we're here all the time. Like literally, there are YouTubers who have more of a consistent viewing base than CNN hosts and CNN pundits. Like YouTube is it's exponentially growing all the time, which is really interesting to see. There aren't many platforms like that, and there we go. I think I got to keep a hand out here, and then my lighting's great. See, this lighting is excellent, and I don't know why my hand being changes that. I'm not tech savvy, and apparently I'm not all lighting savvy either. This is going over my head. Anyways, let's just keep going in this article real quick. I'm going to go to the next paragraph, which is titled The Recommendation Edge. So Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav surely had Google in mind when he said the other day that the entertainment industry needed to find a way to work together in streaming, in part to keep big tech at bay. Apple and Amazon are major threats as well. Yeah, of course, but YouTube is unique in its scale and recommendation system, which sifts through billions of videos every day to hyper-target individual users and viewers. No platform is better at providing recommended trailers, behind-the-scenes featurettes, or creator essays on thousands of television shows and films to keep people watching longer. The autoplay function also ensures that these users don't have to seek out something they may be interested in. Instead, it surfaces automatically and continues to surface. That's what I actually really like, the auto enable button or auto play function, because if especially because like I said earlier, if I'm just kind of hanging out, I'll have music videos sometimes on in the background. I'm doing some yard work out back or something like that. My back door's open. I can hear myself jamming. It's a good time. But I don't have time to go back and forth, especially if I'm out in the yard, because I have a bunch of fruit trees and I have a compost bin, and I can't go touch my TV remote after I've been fiddling in the compost bin. So I rely on the autoplay function to give me something good next. It's like press shuffle, but press shuffle in something that like is in tuned to you, which is kind of cool, kind of freaking cool. But let's continue. Let's continue. Sure, Netflix has a similarly powerful recommendation engine, but it doesn't have access to the social web. That's the big like desperation right there. And while executives in Los Gatos pay close attention to TikTok after clips of Made went viral, Netflix pushed the 2021 series to the top of its carousel. There's no opportunity for users to actually move between Netflix and TikTok. YouTube, by contrast, potentially offers zero friction between the experience of browsing premium video, user-generated content, and over-the-top pay TV channels. With the recent primetime channels, a service that allows users to subscribe to individual channels, YouTube can tap into the wider ecosystem of related videos in order to push viewers down the subscription funnel. And that's even including like YouTube memberships and things like that to like that specific channel. You literally have a say in what is being made. You have a talk. You have the ability to talk with the creators themselves and really wrap your head around the projects that you like the most, which is a beautiful thing. It's not like anything we've ever seen before. It's not like the middle of the 80s and you're like, I like John Hughes movies. Oh, he just did 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. What's he gonna do next? Well, let me go talk to him. You have that opportunity now. Back then, of course, you didn't. 90s, 2000s, 2010s, you didn't. Early 2020s, you didn't. Oh, you kind of did actually, but now we're kind of rearing into the middle of the 2020s, and things are really going to take hold, I think, in what we're looking forward to in the future. I don't know if that was grammatically correct or not, but I think it got the gist across. The gist across. Hold up, I'm just checking. No need to invest in a VPN ASAP. Yes, Carrie, they're great. They're not perfect. They don't do all the things that people expect them to do a lot of the times, but they allow you to just have a little extra layer of security, and they're good for being able to change where you are and change what you're viewing and all that kind of stuff. But okay, let's keep going. Even though some streaming services, including Disney Plus and Netflix, have backed away from aggregators, the industry's tune may be changing again. An aggregator with access to streaming services alongside a never-ending funnel of content that exists on the world's most powerful recommendation system is a huge advantage. At a moment when every streamer is currently exploring opportunities and partnerships with spending huge sums on marketing, because they are spending buku bucks on marketing right now, which is kind of interesting. There's not as much... obviously, the strikes are going on, and then we'll discuss just a little bit about that later. But that's the only thing people can do right now is you can still get paid to go market things. You can still get paid to go advertise things, and they're paying top dollar at the moment. It's interesting. So that's partially why David Zaslav, merged HBO Max and Discovery Plus, for instance, and why Paramount Plus is joining Verizon's Plus Play ecosystem as a bundle option with Netflix. What? I didn't know what? Paramount Plus and Netflix bundle with Verizon. I got Verizon. Can I bundle all that together? I don't know. That's interesting. I was not aware of that, and that could mean some cool things. But let me finish that sentence there. If you can't entice customers to sign up willingly, finding a way into a broader ecosystem is another way of doing it. And YouTube is literally just perfect for that. It's the broadest system possible, and still the nichest system possible too. And it hits every single thing that you want it to. It hits every nail directly on the head. And while YouTube may not be known for its premium content, it has the largest scale, collects unfathomable amounts of viewership data, and contains every possible genre and subculture in one place. Yeah. Crucially, while YouTube's content and viewership are extremely diverse, there are billions of users creating and consuming literally every type of content. The YouTube algorithm is unrivaled in its ability to steer users toward popular related content. Case in point, both Joe Rogan and Seth Meyers figured out that if you break long videos into smaller segments that tap into specific personalities, interests, or subgenres, those videos are both more likely to catch on with relevant subcultures and also more likely to lead those viewers back towards the original product, the long format. This is crucial for creators trying to scale their audience and an increasingly online entertainment ecosystem where streamers are competing with TikTok. It is crucial to those streaming platforms. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's actually something I want to do here. What? Yeah. That's something I totally want to do here, where we talk Monday, Wednesday, Friday about just film news that has come out and is important and big in the industry at the moment. I'd love to kind of like cut those up and do a bunch of little tiny videos on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Good videos for the channel. It helps us grow. It helps us get bigger, and it helps us just have more content out there for you. And it leads people back to those longer lives. And then maybe instead of 4 or 5 people in here, we're going to have 40, 50, 400, 500 one day, 4,000, 5,000 one day. You know, the possibilities are quite literally endless. And there's nowhere else to do that right now besides YouTube. Twitch, kind of, sort of. It just doesn't have the same user basis right now. It's not even close. It's not even the same realm of closeness. And that's not saying it couldn't get there, but people are hesitant to try that stuff. Like Twitch is big, but Mixer wasn't. Microsoft's version of Twitch didn't last. I wasn't ever a big Twitch person. I knew somebody that was making Mixer content, I guess, but I wasn't big on there either, and it died out quickly. In the last few hours, I went from nature shows to talk shows, online predator burst to Harris. Gotta love YouTube. Exactly. It's like it's anything you feel like, and if you have a wide array of interests, it helps you with that. And the algorithm is where it does. If you're like, okay, well, right now, because Shelly, I know you love Muppets. Know you love Ghost and things like that. So if you're watching a bunch of Ghost stuff, if you're watching Steven over there, YouTube's gonna send you a bunch of like more paranormal kind of theme things. But like the second you search something else, those other things are going to be back in there. So as long as you have a bunch of like interest and a wide array of interest, and you're like searching a multitude of things, YouTube's actually really good, at least from my opinion and what I've seen, about getting you a multitude of things. Now, like I love Joe Rogan's little example he always gives online is like he had his buddies search up dogs on YouTube for a week, and then YouTube only wanted to send him videos about dogs. It's like, okay, that's surprise. Like I don't understand why that's such a big revelation. Uh, it makes sense, I guess, thinking in the algorithm kind of way. But one thing I do like about YouTube is that if you do have that wide array of topics that you search up, like I just have Sidetrack, I have Kill Tony, the comedy thing I like to watch on Mondays. I have MCubed up on my actual account, so I can go check if things are actually like working on my Harris account instead of MCubed. All kinds of things. And I feel like the algorithm really is good about getting you a variety of things if you're looking for a variety of things. If you're only looking for one topic, yeah, you'll get one topic. Like if you're a Star Wars person, that Star Wars is going to be the one thing that keeps popping up. If you are searching Star Wars, Stargate, and or Star Trek, I don't even watch Star Trek. It's why I go to Sidetrack before Star Trek. I love it though, But if you're going through those 3 different things, then it's going to give you a multitude of things. And not only is it going to give you those 3 things, it's going to say, oh, well, this person likes different sci-fi kind of themed things. It's going to push more sci-fi themed things towards you. It might give you something on like, I don't know, Red Dwarf. It might give you Silent Hill. I'm just thinking things that were popping up in Sidetrack live streams now. But it might send you towards like Predator or something else that's just like sci-fi oriented that maybe you weren't looking for, but now that you delved into all these different other things, maybe you might like this. And I do like that. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it tends to be better than all these other streaming platforms trying to, okay, well, here's your generic 80s action movie since you watched the last one. And a lot of the times, if you're just watching like Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, if they suggest Cobra with Sly up next, you might watch it. And honestly, that's still a pretty good algorithm, and Netflix has a good one, particularly I think more so than all the others. But it's not that same degree as YouTube has it. Obviously, it doesn't. Where I guess you don't necessarily. I guess YouTube does have an advantage there, thinking about it though, because Netflix does have it segregated into different genres. Howdy, David. But yeah, Netflix has like action movies, sci-fi movies, fantasy movies, young adult movies, romance movies, whatever movie, where YouTube has recommended. So you are typically only going through recommended or maybe new to you. And it's kind of almost the same thing, but I think YouTube obviously has all those other things down there too. So YouTube does have the advantage there still. Netflix does have, it's not too far behind. It's a good algorithm for what it is. YouTube just, when that recommended page is there, is really, really good. It brings exactly what you want to the forefront. That's exactly what you're asking for. So yeah. So now we're going to the ecosystem advantage. The third out of five paragraphs here. I know this one's a long one, y'all. We're going long on it, but it's an interesting topic, and it's the title card of this one. So we're talking. So for streaming consumers, ease, access, and availability are everything, and they help explain YouTube's ubiquity. YouTube TV, which can be added to any smart TV system, maintains a familiar grid-like user interface that hundreds of millions of people already understand from decades scrolling through linear television. Literally, like I have YouTube TV and YouTube Premium. I just do things through YouTube. You know, I have a Google Pixels. Everything I do is through YouTube. Really, it's so easy to use. It's not even fun. Like I go back to cable sometimes when I go back to like Texas and my family. I don't understand what's going on here. I'd rather just hop on YouTube TV because it is essentially cable, just with a better user interface, and it literally brings things that you obviously you're like subscribing to individual channels on YouTube TV as well, so you can get like specifically FX things. So I get a lot of FX things because I watch Mayans and Sons of Anarchy kind of things, and then sometimes I'll watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or What We Do in the Shadows, and those are all FX. So you can subscribe to that, or I might subscribe to AMC for Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, all that kind of stuff, so on and so forth. Let's continue though. As adoption of connected TVs increases and home entertainment platforms become more connected, YouTube has the unique benefit of being a distributor of content across VOD and live, and being a content company that can monetize time and attention after audiences are done with the program. Yeah. So as television becomes streaming and streaming dominates larger entertainment platforms, ecosystems like YouTube have an advantage over individual apps. So last year, for example, the NFL made a deal with Google to offer its Sunday ticket package of out-of-market games via YouTube's primetime channel service, which allows users to subscribe to individual channels. Okay. Starting this season, NFL Sunday Ticket isn't available on YouTube TV or YouTube channels. The NFL, it is for an extra charge. The NFL is also producing exclusive free content for YouTube. See, that's interesting, and it's consistent content too. It's not like they can only do 1 or 2 videos a year, and yeah, they want to make it like really good and a great video, but they also need to advertise this, and this. It makes it where, yeah, they can do like 1 or 2 like really cool projects a year, but now they don't have to add a bunch of BS advertising or a bunch of fluff in there really, and can make really cool projects and separate the content and the projects. That's the thing, where I don't like how film and TV is being relegated to content nowadays, where this is content. YouTube, us talking, podcast, it's talking. Where videos are also content, but they can be projects. It depends on the amount of effort and time and work put into it, really. And then if you turn something into a project, it requires much more effort, time, and work than we're reading articles and discussing things live right now. You know, that's not necessarily the most amount of work. It requires a good amount of thought, and you know, obviously I have to be at least a decent reader for this to even work, and we have to be able to discuss things generally all right, you know. But you know, it's not the same as YouTube TV and streaming by any means, and it's just I don't know. I like to read articles like this and really differentiate in my brain and I guess learn the specific platforms that we're on, you know. Anyway, let's continue because I run the risk of rambling. So creating entry points, yeah, so NFL is also producing exclusive free content for YouTube. Creating entry points regardless of price sensitivities. Free NFL content for those who want to use YouTube, all the way up to $250 for a Sunday ticket subscription, theoretically increases discoverability, potential, and accessibility. Football fans can watch an upcoming game through YouTube channels and then watch additional content for free on YouTube without ever leaving the app. Attention is fully captured and monetized by one platform. While Amazon has the advantage of e-commerce and Apple has the advantage of mobile hardware, Google is the fastest growing operating system on connected TVs. Combined with YouTube, Google also has the advantage of habit and search in an area where the other two companies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars just to compete. Television. So, I mean, that just being said though, like, yeah, Apple has the biggest mobile hardware and Amazon has the biggest e-commerce, but YouTube literally has e-commerce worked into it. It's not that far behind Amazon probably, and it's not YouTube or Google itself that's acting like that. Google Marketplace is actually freaking huge, so that's probably up there to some degree. But like sidetrack, I found sidetrack through watching YouTube Star Wars Meg. Star Wars Meg's awesome. I love Star Wars Meg, David. But yeah, but Star Wars Meg no sidetrack. And anyway, we can talk about that later. Like sidetrack, he has like Jamie has all of the merchandise. You can click it right under the video. If you go on Star Wars Meg stuff, she has her merchandise right under the video. It has e-commerce already inside of the app itself and inside of the platform. To boost that would not be that much, especially or would not take as much as all these other companies having to spend hundreds of millions to do that, where YouTube already has it literally built into it, and where Apple may be the largest mobile platform. Google Pixels are a thing, so the more prominent Google Pixels become, the mobile aspect of things doesn't really matter because they're there. YouTube and Google and Alphabet, the parent company, has their answer to it. And just saying, I guess my phone's in the other room right now, but I love me my Google Pixel. I've used Apple's, I've used Samsung's, I've used Google's, and Google is by far my favorite. I like Samsung more than Apple. I really just don't like Apple. I don't dislike Apple. Don't hate on me, Apple. I'm sorry, but it's just where it. I don't know. I don't like that it restricts all the things you do. It restricts things you do to keep you safe, but I'd rather have the opportunity and ability to do what I feel like. If I want to get a VPN, if I want to get Norton security or something, I'll get it. I prefer Samsung over Apple. Yeah, I do too. That's why I ended up choosing it. But then I chose Google over Samsung, and I haven't gone back since. I really like Google. But all of these companies are interesting, and I hate the poo-pooing of all the Androids from all the Apple people. I understand it, but hey, you can change your color of the text messages on any Android device. Like, if that's your biggest issue, come on now. There's bigger things to focus on. That being said, more on the NFL scenario. We're gonna skip this one. I did read this one. I like it, and it does give you some good context. But Puck is on Twitter, and this article I think is from Twitter as well. So you can go check it out. And there it is. But the gaming lesson. This is where I find it interesting because it adds a different aspect to things. We did just kind of slightly discuss the NFL and like individual channel aspect of things. The gaming lesson and the gaming aspect of everything adds just a whole new narrative to it. So the gaming lesson. Google famously worked on a gaming system, Google Stadia, that ultimately failed spectacularly. But YouTube still found its edge with its billions of hours of user-generated gaming content, a content arena in which Amazon spent $1 billion via its acquisition of Twitch to try to compete. And Microsoft, they're not mentioning, tried to do the same thing with Mixer, but it didn't go through either. It lost a lot. YouTube's greatest contribution to the gaming industry was as the birthplace of Let's Play videos. That's literally what I started watching like whenever I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I don't like that stuff now most of the time, honestly. But back then, watching people play video games to help you like get to where you want to go in a video game was so useful. And it's still very useful, don't get me wrong. Even though I don't do it as much now, it's one of those common things on YouTube, and I guess when I do play a game, it's something I occasionally still do. But anyway, in the Let's Play videos, in which creators find themselves playing through a certain title. These helped Minecraft generate billions of dollars in revenue and led the games industry into an entirely new era of marketing creation and, more importantly, consumption. Amazon, which is developing Lord of the Rings game to supplement its Rings of Power series, has used Twitch, the live streaming platform it owns, to tie everything together. For example, streamers can simultaneously I guess that's putting those two words together. Simulcast TV series, and films from Prime Video with their audiences. Oh, simulcast. Okay, so that's simultaneously cast. Yes, it is those words put together. But simulcast is the thing where like you can be watching something alongside your audience, and you can hang out with them there. Anyway, I've often told industry insiders that considering how often the streaming platforms use YouTube to reach new audiences, it's odd that streaming services don't incorporate some of the corresponding YouTube videos from creators back onto their own platforms. Video essays on popular series like The Last of Us could exist as recommended material after people are done watching an episode. Yeah, like afterthoughts, like for The Last of Us, like that would be a great little thing. Like instead of studios, of course they can make some good money in doing and hosting their own after shows like The Walking Dead. I used to always watch The Talking Dead after The Walking Dead. But that's very expensive for them to put on as well, and they could still make ad revenue and good money, and arguably probably not as much, but nearly as much just by letting other people do it, like letting us do it, the content creators out here. This may be harder to incorporate on a platform, but on YouTube, it's just an added benefit. Legit, though. Google may at some point try to compete in the game spaces, but the biggest lesson YouTube discovered was how to take advantage of the platform's biggest assets: scale, discovery, and ease. As individual streaming services try to maintain that audience attention while keeping costs low, finding ways to lean into additive content that reinforces adoration for a series or facilitates more direct discovery becomes a crucial part of the equation. This is Roku's biggest selling point, but again, YouTube is bigger and its content is more consistent and cost effective. So while we're thinking about that real quick, I said while we're thinking about that real quick, and I completely brain farted. I know it was something about The Last of Us, and then jumping into something afterwards. Google may at some point try to compete in the game space, but the biggest lesson YouTube discovered was how to take advantage of the platform's biggest asset: scale. Oh, that's what I was thinking of, the gaming aspect of things. Brain fart real quick. Hello. Talking Dead was great, Carrie. I loved it. Chris Hardwick is a great host. I honestly wish he was hosting more things still. I don't know what else he's doing right now. He did start Nerdist though, so he's a good guy, you know. But anyway, the thing that I'm thinking of is Google Stadia is and was a colossal failure, and I don't necessarily see Google jumping back into the video game field anytime soon because of that. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think the thing that we're missing, and maybe this article is missing because I thought of it and then forgot about it and then thought about it again while we were reading it, was Netflix is doing gaming right now. Netflix has a gaming side. You can scroll down Netflix and play games on Netflix. Like they have like video games on Netflix, full on games. And no, they're not like Skyrim, and they're not like Fallout or Star Wars Jedi Survivor or something like that, but they're full-on video games still. They did Bandersnatch a couple years ago, that Black Mirror thing, where it was an interactive thing. They're doing interactive things like that. They have that capability, and I think YouTube is going to end up doing something like that. The larger the platform gets and the more streaming services tend to come there, they can say, hey, well, now we have a game for you to play that's based off of this. And it's just as easy as saying, well, after you watch Avatar: The Way of Water on YouTube, you can say, well, now I want to play the new Avatar game. There we go. There we go. There we go. No. What is that? Does it take a full hand? It takes a full hand up here. But then I move this away and it doesn't look as good. This lighting, y'all. See, now it's coming from that way. What do I do? What do I do? Okay, well, let's just finish this article. There's half a paragraph left, or the last paragraph of the large paragraphs. So, of course, YouTube isn't without its issues. It's still not a premium content service. It's largely seen as a free platform, meaning that trying to convert those viewers to paying customers is difficult. And being a part of Google means that any big move into additional consumer spaces comes with heightened scrutiny from regulators. But YouTube has the advantage of being global, with tremendous scale, and based on all the data available, high adoption in smart TV sets. Google isn't a quiet competitor by any means, but it certainly deserves more attention in the streaming wars. Yeah. I don't necessarily see the free platform as being a bad thing at all, though, because like I said earlier, I pay for YouTube Premium. I pay for it every month. It works for my music, and it works for no ads on YouTube. I think YouTube Music is by far the best music system there is, better than Apple Music, better than Spotify Music, all the above. And if you pay for YouTube Premium, you not only get YouTube Music, no ads on any of your videos. So if I don't know how long, if I'm going for a half hour right now, 35 minutes, we literally just hit that mark. You could have 2 or 3 ads in here, and I don't know. I have YouTube Premium, so I literally don't know. One of my friends just moved back to Austin, or moved to Austin, I guess. And him and his roommate would come over. We'd watch like podcast on Mondays, the Kill Tonys. We'd watch comedy things like that, and there were no ads ever. It's an hour and a half, 2 hour podcast, but usually there are ads. And my buddy called me this past week and was like, "You spoiled me. Now I'm watching it in my own TV, and I have like 5 or 6 ads every time I watch the damn show." And I'm like, get YouTube Premium. Just get it, Terry, you have YouTube Premium. It's great. It's legit great. And YouTube is making bank, and rightfully so, because they're giving us things we're asking for, where a lot of these other places are not. And that's, I think, the biggest holdup is YouTube is giving. It has such a better interactive atmosphere with its actual user base that they can get everything they want and need quicker to their audiences, to the people that are paying for them to do these things. It's a much more effective and efficient way of business, and I'm for it. I like it. Okay, so that is literally half the video right there. That was one long ass segment. Sorry about it, but not sorry at the same time, because it was a good one. We had a lot of good talking points about it. And also, I usually do have something a lot more fun to wear, Sorry, I'm in my gym clothes, but we may do. I got, like I said, I put beef ribs in there. Oh my God. We started 35 minutes ago, and I put beef ribs in about 5 minutes before that. Good. I did not look at the clock there, but thankfully YouTube clocks it out for us, because I got pork ribs defrosting right behind me. Delicious. It's barbecue day around these parts. I'm happy. Well, thank you, Carrie. I like blue. I don't wear blue super often, but I like it, I got a couple blue jackets I like. Well, and the Stargate Atlantis, I wear that big old blue hoodie all the time. I love that thing. Anyway, let's jump into the meat of today. Actually, we did hit the meat. This is the fluff. This is the fun fluff, though, because it's the general news. That's just talking about all the different things that are happening. This is the true cinema scoop. Hey, thank you, Carrie. All right, so y'all know I'm a happy frickin' camper. They just announced the release date for Ahsoka, the next Star Wars series today. And Ahsoka's my probably second favorite Star Wars character in total, honestly. My favorite is Count Dooku. And Ahsoka's a character that starts out pretty bad. Her first kind of 3 seasons, or not 3 seasons necessarily, but her first few arcs are like, oh God, why is she here? And then when she actually starts kind of becoming her own character, and not so much just like, oh, Anakin's snippy little Padawan, and Snips herself really embodies a fully realized human being, or Togruta, as her species is called. Damn, it's not the most fully realized Star Wars character, but she's one of the most fully realized Star Wars characters, and she's just excellent. Whether it's Clone Wars, whether it's I almost said Bad Batch, she's not in there yet. I'm sure she will be though. I would hope so. Or Rebels, and now live action. So meticulously crafted, and I appreciate that so much. It's George Lucas's and Dave Filoni's baby. Oh, 2 best names ever. God Emperor Dave Filoni, because that's what we call him around the Star Wars circles. And then George frickin' Lucas. That man is God in Star Wars, So I'm pumped. So August 23rd is the release date. I don't really need to read this whole article, actually. I could just tell you that alone there, because that's kind of the news itself. I'm ecstatic. I am sad, though, that we are getting it without Ray Stevens, who is going to play Baylan Skoll in it. And Baylan Skoll is just an awesome name, first of all. That's a real cool name. And it's Skoll, not Skull. It's Skoll, Skoll. which was very Nordic. Which I'm 36% Viking. I'm 36% Norse. I'm all for it. But let me read this article real quick, just because. Rip Ray Stevenson. Legit makes me sad though. This dude is a great actor. Was a great actor, and I grew up watching him in literally all kinds of things. He's in so many different projects that you wouldn't necessarily think about. He's I forgot the character's name. The big dwarf looking dude from Thor. He's Thor's like best friend in or one of his best friends in the what is it called? This whatever four. I'm blanking, but you know what I mean. He's one of those main four ancillary characters in Thor. They're like Thor's good friends. He's the big dwarf looking dude with the big beard and the big red hair. And oh my God, Ray Stevenson is he's in all kinds of things. Just look him up on IMDb and you'll just be appalled. Me, I want to direct one day. He was one of those guys where I was like, he's probably not the most expensive actor to get, and he's an amazing actor. I want to get him in everything I could. And now that opportunity will never arise. But hey, we get to enjoy his last performance in Ahsoka. I'm not positive if it's like his last performance, if it's like final performance. But Ahsoka seems to be great. It looks to be great, and Ray Stevenson is an amazing actor, so I expect it to be great. Fingers crossed, of course. But let's do the dead man a favor. I don't like saying that. That sounded sad. Let's do the guy a favor and read the article, because he deserves it. Last month we lost the generous and kind Ray Stevenson, the actor who was perhaps best known for his role as Titus Pullo in HBO's Rome, in which he played a Roman guard alongside Kevin McKidd. Stevenson had recently wrapped filming the upcoming Disney Plus series Ahsoka, and had spoken with Collider in April of his excitement for the project. The latest issue of Empire magazine, which includes a huge in-depth feature on Ahsoka, includes a short quote from Stevenson on his character Baylan Skoll, in which the late Northern Irish actor explains the character's motivations and mentality. He's not genocidal or malicious or overly aggressive. He will request that you get out of his way, but if you don't, he will take you out of his way. Which sounds like a Ray Stevenson character. Like literally everything he plays is kind of amongst that same general vibe. Not necessarily all of it, but that's that's good caricature or archetype for him. And he's so good at it. Oh, it just makes me sad. But anyway, the feature further went on to explain the origins of Stevenson's character, Skoll, by revealing that, like many, it would seem his character was a survivor of Order 66. And in the aftermath of the Jedi, Cole turned embittered towards his fate, using his Force-sensitive abilities to become a mercenary for hire, which in turn led him to become one of Grand Admiral Thrawn's most trusted informers, roaming the galaxy and ensuring order was followed in the way that the fallen empire would have wanted it to be. Yeah. People are all pissed off about the whole Order 66 thing. I don't, it makes no sense to me. Why are people pissed off that it seems like all these different Jedi survived Order 66. There were tens of thousands of Jedi, and whether you like it or not, if 1% of them survived, well, that's 1,000 Jedi. If 10% of them survived, which is not a high number, that's not 1,000 Jedi. That's 1,000 Jedi. It's there's a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunities and options for survivors, and it's a big galaxy, it's a big universe, it's a big world. You could go out in different places and do different things. And Baylan Skoll is just one of those individuals to do so. I don't see the complaint there. I don't understand that one. But let's keep reading this article real fast. What was Order 66? Well, we don't need to read that. Any more information from Ray Stevenson is what I want to know. Yep. Order 66 successfully wiped out a massive percentage of the Jedi with the help of Jedi Knight turned Sith Anakin Skywalker, who would become Darth Vader, although a small number survived, including the likes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, and Yoda, along with others who would emerge later, like Grogu, Cal Kestis, etc. It doesn't say anything else about Ray Stevenson. I wanted more Ray Stevenson stuff. Rest in peace. Like, for real though, that guy was an amazing actor, and I it's not the right. I don't even like comparing, especially in death, but like the only person that like I was that sad about passing away was like Robin Williams. Obviously, I was more sad about Robin Williams passing away, and I'm pretty sure I teared up pretty heavily on the day that I heard Robin Williams pass. But Ray Stevenson wasn't that like same level of actor that like everybody knew and yada yada, and it was like that collective grieving. But Ray Stevenson is that actor I grew up just enjoying and really liking in all these projects, and yeah. Let's not forget the Jedi that weren't born or just born not showing powers yet. Yeah, 100%. Like yeah, Anakin did take out a lot of the younglings, but there was a good amount of all the ones that escaped, all the people that escaped. They were all like of age to have children or of age to probably have children in the next 10 years. And if they're hiding out and being safe, raising a family is a good way to be like, yeah, look, I'm just a farmer from this planet. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of force sensitive kids, not to mention just the ones that were still being born, just like out of the blue. Because, you could be a non-force sensitive family and end up having force sensitive children. It's just kind of a thing. Because I guess technically every child's force sensitive to a degree, at least. I don't understand the qualms people have with that one, but we now move on to not Star Wars, but Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's answer to Star Wars. Oh, I thought you said Shelley just commented, so many are passing, but Tom Hanks has to live forever. I couldn't deal with him being gone. Shelley, I'm sorry. I thought you said Tom Hanks was dead, and I wasn't going to clap, but I was going to be like, well, there he goes. I've fallen out of love with Tom Hanks. He doesn't pick the projects that I would like him to pick nowadays. And sure, pick projects if you want a couple extra dollars, go for it. But put a little heart and soul into it. A Man Called Otto was all right, but he was just phoning it in. It wasn't anything difficult for him. He was just being a grunt for a couple hours. I don't know. His name was at the very top of all the Epstein list, and you never know if all that stuff's 100% true or not. But he was the first person to say anything about you got to do this and you got to do this during the whole pandy. And I do not trust Tom Hanks as far as I can throw him. And, I haven't been in the gym that much the last month or so I probably couldn't throw him that far. Enough about that. Anyway, really? Okay, Tom Hanks as an actor, separating actor from art, I like his art. I don't like the dude anymore. I've fallen out of love with Tom Hanks. Where he used to be America's dad, he's more like, off, dude, nowadays for me. Sorry, Tom Hanks. Be a person. That's all I ask. He's not a person anymore. He's a caricature of what he was. Anyways, I could talk about that for a little bit too. We shouldn't though. I don't need to get in trouble because I will get myself in trouble. And yeah, biggest loss this year is Lance Reddick. Well, okay, actually, no, not biggest loss. Ray Stevenson, I believe, is a bigger loss, but I do adore Lance Reddick, and I love Lance Reddick's career. He has a great career outside of doing John Wick stuff as well, but man, it's just sad. It's sad. There's a lot of people dropping, and I would not. Let's not talk about this on air. I would talk about these things at a different time, probably. But there's reasons these guys are dropping, and nobody wants to talk about that though. Anyway, where Balin Skull is an awesome freaking name for Ahsoka, the originals, not the original, but Star Wars, which is Star Wars. Zack Snyder was not, he tried to get himself a Star Wars film, and it didn't work out. Lucasfilm was like, this is a little too dark for us. It's not something that we want to do. And Disney, of course, had just bought them. So they were really like, yeah, we can't go this dark just yet. They decided to. Well, I guess Disney decided to pass. Sorry, I was reading comments. I'm all over the place mentally. But Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon is now being made by, I think, Warner Brothers and Max, technically, I guess. It's not going to go on Max as like a Max exclusive or anything, but it is being made by Warner Brothers and HBO by technicality, I guess. I'm excited for it, but I'm also kind of worried for it. And this worried, this is what makes me worry here, which is interesting. Rebel Moon just got its first character, not first character name, I guess, but it's got a bunch of different things about it that have been released in very small little tidbits. But Ed Screen's character's name was just announced, and his character's name is Atticus Noble. Y'all let me know if you think Balin Skull or Atticus Noble is the better name in the comments. Which one is the cooler name? And do either of those names just kind of make you roll your eyes? Because Balin Skull is kind of, I think it's one of those, I think it's a legit cool name. It's my favorite of the two. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Yeah, thank you, David. I agree. I think it's Skull. Atticus Noble sounds like a child trying to name somebody bad that thinks they're good. And good, okay, I like that the name can convey that it's a bad guy that thinks he's doing good that quickly. But Atticus Noble, it just sounds cheesy as hell to me. I don't like it. I like the name Atticus a lot, but Noble, it makes me roll my eyes. Where Balin Skull can kind of make me roll my eyes, but there's method to the madness. There's rhyme to the reason. Oh my god, what's the other character's name? The other like the apprentice for Balin Skull in the new Ahsoka series also has a name that fits. It's Skull and something else that her last name, and it's an ancient Nordic kind of folktale. Not necessarily folktale. I think it's just more story, but and like a traditional tale. But there's rhyme to the reason, not necessarily like I want my audience to know that this is a bad guy that thinks he's a good guy. He thinks he's noble. We'll name him Noble. It's just like, oh my god, like, come on, you're creative, Zack Snyder. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. You could have done better than that 10 years ago. You can still do better now. But I all jokes aside, Rebel Moon looks pretty damn cool. I don't necessarily my excitement level varies. I am excited, but the more I learn about it, the less excited I get. And then sometimes something cool pops up and I'm like, ooh, that does look interesting, but not all the time. Okay, so we got 3 more articles left. These are fun ones. These are some fun ones real quick. This one I don't think is a very long article. We don't really have to read much of the article either, I don't think. I actually have yet to read this article. I just wanted to see if it said something. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Who's back and who's not. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So, next up, we're talking about another movie franchise. This one not so sci-fi oriented, but the 80s action oriented. And the best of the 80s action. Kind of. The best 80s action stars, at least. Maybe not doing the best action nowadays, but this one looks good. I watched the trailers to Expendables 4 this morning. Have you seen the trailer for the Expendables yet? The Expendables 4, which is spelled Expendables, and the A is missing, and it's replaced with the 4. And I like that. I think that's clever marketing. It does make it kind of hard. Is it Expendables 4, or is it still, instead of the Expendables, it's just Expendables with a 4 in the title instead of an A? Not positive. Hopefully they don't go Fast and Furious on that route, but I don't think they are, because it looks like they're coming back and grounding themselves a little bit more in reality after that third one decided to not be so grounded in reality. I don't get this lighting. Anyway, I'm excited for it. Did you watch the trailer? What do you think of the trailer? Because I thought the trailer looked all right. That reminds me of what I'm hearing about Indiana Jones movie. The more I hear, the more I worry. I love James Mangold, and I got faith in James Mangold. And I love Harrison Ford. I got faith in Harrison Ford. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a great performer. I haven't seen enough of her stuff to really like love the actress for what she's done yet. But everything I've ever seen Phoebe Waller-Bridge do, I enjoy. I don't want time travel with Harrison. I mean, I don't want time travel with Indiana Jones. I just don't. Hey, oh, well, how are you doing, Jay? See, bearded, I took the beard out. We're back to the goatee, thankfully. I got a bunch of people coming here later, so I have to look all right. Look all right for a barbecue, you know? But yeah. Uh, Brain fart. Hello. Expendables 4. Yeah. It's okay. So real quick, we'll read who's back and who's not. While the film does include a number of returning stars of the franchise, some will not be for varying reasons. Of course, Bruce Willis will not be returning after his retirement from acting for health reasons, understandably, and nor will Arnold Schwarzenegger. Uh, okay, it says it right here. The star of Netflix's current series, Fubar, Schwarzenegger revealed that he had no desire to be in the film and that Stallone was fully understanding of the Austrian Oaks decision in an interview with Parade magazine. It's done and I'm not in it, I said. You know what we have done in this and you know what we have done this and I am out of it. And Stallone really understood. I did the first Expendables as a favor to Sly. I shot it on Saturday for 2 hours quickly in a church with Bruce Willis, Sly said. And Sly said, "Oh, can you do Expendables 2?" And I did that for a weekend. Then it was expanded for Expendables 3, and that was it. We're going to do something together one day. This film is directed by Scott Woe from a script, or Wow, Woe, something like that, from a script written by Spencer Cohen, Max Adams, and John Joseph Connolly. And it's due to be released in theaters on September 22nd. All right, all right, all right. No, they're popcorn movies. Once watched, quickly forgot. uh, yeah, no, they're definitely popcorn movies, David. They're not the best by any stretch, but they're just a fun time. I do enjoy them. You know, I'll smoke a joint and sit back and eat some popcorn and watch some Expendables, and I'm having a great afternoon. But the third one really was downhill, and it was where like the first two were rated R, and they definitely had fun with themselves. The third one tried to still have fun with itself a little bit, but made itself way more serious than it needed to be, and in the same time, more childlike, and not childlike in many ways. It was more so we got to make it. It was form fitting to a PG-13 rating instead of a rated R rating, and it definitely hurt the film. We all know it hurt the film. I like that they're going back to rated R for this, and I do like that they're trying to continue the added gravitas, it seems, of the third one. And I think they're going back to the fun. It looks like they're having fun as well. So hopefully with a little gravitas in there, it'll be a better movie, you know. And then hopefully it's still fun and has that popcorn flick kind of attitude about it. We'll see. But they added Megan Fox in here, and they added 50 Cent. Megan Fox is playing Jason Statham's girlfriend, which cracked me up. Cracked me up because, you know, Megan Fox was replaced in the Transformers franchise in the third Transformers movie that Michael Bay directed by Jason Statham's beautiful British runway model wife. And she wasn't the best part of the movie, but she looked great, you know. Now Megan Fox is playing Jason Statham's girlfriend in an Expendables movie. It's just how the turntables. It was very funny. First and maybe second were nostalgia silliness. Third one tried to be an actual movie, but it failed miserably. Yes, I'm hoping this adds the nostalgia silliness and is able to pull off being an actual movie. We'll see. We'll see. It's ironic, yes. All of it's ironic, the Megan Fox and the wife stuff, but also it's just them trying to be a movie and be silly at the same time. But with things like Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Cocaine Bear, all these different things that are silly as hell that manage to actually put like some heart into it and still be a good film. Hopefully with things like that just on the array right now, it's made it more probable, possible even. Possible, probable even might be a better way of saying that, but we'll see. It's to be seen, to be determined, TBD. Jason Statham's best girlfriend was Kelly Brook. I love her. See, I don't know Kelly Brook off the top of my head, but I shouldn't Google. I'll Google after the stream. But next up, we got Mission Impossible 8, shut down amidst the writer's strike, and possible, they say, looming SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA strike. English. Hello. Actually, looking forward to seeing Cocaine Bear. Carrie, if you have not seen Cocaine Bear, do yourself a favor, go on Peacock and watch it, because it's not perfect. It's not great by any means, but it's great in all the means that don't necessarily make a great movie. But it's so much fun, and it's just enjoyable. There is some good heart in it, actually, and best watch drunk, 1,000%. I watched it I think 3 times in theaters while it was out, and then I've seen it 3 times since. Last time I watched it with my mom and my aunt, and they were like, "Oh, we want a chick flick. We want like a rom-com. Put us something on." I was like, "I gotta sit in the room too. I want to watch a movie. I don't think I want to watch that." And they're like, "Fine. Well, what's something that'll make us laugh?" And I said, hold up, I got you. Do you mean their streaming service?" Or yes, streaming service Peacock. Don't go find a bird. I don't know. The feathers are really like beautiful and all, but I don't know if they stream television in there. They might. Uh, but Mission Impossible 8 shut down amidst writer strike and looming SAG after strike. I don't know if we need to read this whole thing. Let's just discuss it. Yeah, we'll just discuss this one. The article is all right. I've read the article. It just kind of tells you, yes, the writer's strike is going on, and no, the SAG-AFTRA strike is not 100% happening. It was voted 97% that it should, which means that, yes, they can if they want to. But I've got a feeling that they might not. That's a very small feeling. If I had to say like over, under like a certain percent, I'd say like 35, 40%. No, I'd say 25 to 35%, like maybe not strike. And that's just because of the DGA deal and how that's panned out. And they kind of have less of a say now. But I mean, there's a really high chance that those actors are going to strike. It's inevitable, and in some ways we kind of expected this. But shutting down films, we know that Deadpool 3 is just about to start filming, so they're probably not far behind this. Mission Impossible 8's not done filming, but they're done as of now. They're stopping. Yeah, we'll see. I hope it's not stopped for long, because it could, like we talked about on Sidetrack this past week, it could be 7 days, or it could be 3 months, 5 months, 8 months, just depending on what goes on and how these deals happen and what is said and done in these deals. So fingers crossed it's good. But we're going to end this on one more. Okay, not too big of an article. I remembered it being decent, but it was because I was thinking about it, I guess. Old David Zaslav. Zaz's axe over there at Warner Brothers. This guy is doing a lot. And he's good at what he does. He's good at what he does. Yes, darn strikes, Carrie. I understand him a lot, but like, let's get to working. You know, I'm here. I moved to this city in this county to work, and now we're not working. Like, come on. Anyway, the Chris Licht era at CNN is over. The CNN CEO will be departing from the company after only 1 year. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav confirmed the news to CNN staff organization's daily editorial call. Zaslav praised Licht for his amazing career, but acknowledged that his leadership at CNN was not successful. "I take full responsibility," Zaslav told CNN staff on the call. CNN's interim leadership will be Amy Entelis, the longtime head of talent and content development, head of editorial Virginia Mosley, programming chief Eric Sherling, and David Levy, who was announced as the incoming CEO of CNN just last week. Well, I don't really care about the whole CNN aspect of things. We're not over here to talk politics and that aspect of programming and television and all that stuff around these parts. But Zaslav being in control of CNN, but I guess most people probably don't realize that Warner Brothers Discoveries owns CNN. Surprise, they own a lot, you know? And they want CNN to do well. CNN has not been doing well. We talked about earlier how literally YouTubers get better views than CNN pundits and hosts do a lot of the times. There's more consistency in their base of followers and supporters that come back frequently, that support them and buying their products and all these different things. Honestly, I like it. It's kind of the age where Zaslav wouldn't be a bad idea to just cut CNN out and put it on a YouTube channel. Literally do that, like same thing the NFL is doing with YouTube, where yeah, you can pay a little extra and you can come get specific things for this, and then we'll like send you to the YouTube channels that follow the stuff afterwards. That'd be a great idea for something like CNN to do. Obviously, they're going to course correct, and they want to stay some version of the way that it's always been. Wow, that lighting is just so bad. I'm sorry, y'all. It's so distracting for me. I just look down. I'm like, washed out here, washed out there. But yeah, well, CNN woke. Yeah. Well, it's people aren't liking them. People aren't watching them anymore. So they're changing the company a lot. And this is one of those big things. And Zaslav has already changed Discovery and Warner Brothers a lot. Like literally the essence of both companies are inherently changed now. And CNN is huge and it's inherently changed as well. And I think this is the beginning. This is probably just the beginning of all those changes. And that's like a little better and a little worse at the same time. Now I'm just look, there you go. Now some details. When I raise my forehead wrinkles, you get details. But before I just start rambling and before I start, talking about my lighting situations here, I really enjoyed this one. This was a good one. I expected to be quick, and we still went for an hour. It was good. We didn't have all the things to talk about, but that first article really got us through. Talking a little Star Wars and a little Rebel Moon was always good. Isn't everything better done drunk? Yes, Shelly. Yes, it is. Well, not everything. Not everything. But stoned, that's a different story. That's a different story. I got myself in trouble a couple times drinking too much. So we'll stick with the alcohols. I mean, not the alcohols. The opposite. What did Jamie just send? Ooh. I shouldn't say that though. I'm not gonna say that out loud. I shouldn't. That's sidetrack stuff. I can't say that here. We ain't that special. We got to boost sidetrack over here. But yeah. So all right, I'm just rambling at this point. Now I got to do the spiel. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all that good stuff. And if you want to follow me, come smoke with me on Snapchat. That's where we do the Mary Jane aspect of this channel as of now. So Harris McGrade on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Twitter, if you want to see me anywhere there. All that good stuff. We got our Patreon for MCubed down below. We've got the Woodger affiliate link down there as well if you want to support us around here. And also, come check us out on Sunday on Sidetrack. Jamie's in the chat right now, so say hi to him. And we'll see you there. But if you want more movie love and goodness on MCubed, come back and we will be here. I think tomorrow's good old Thursday, so I'm giving you an exclusive, a gift. Oh, well, I don't have my phone in my room, so I literally only have this. I'll read it off of here. So we've been given an exclusive in these last moments of the episode here from Sidetrack, Jamie himself. Should I say the name? Am I allowed to say the name? A certain person held talks with MGM 2 weeks ago to become showrunner for an unannounced project, possibly Stargate. Oh yeah, well, if it's the possible showrunner, then it'd be. I can't tell. I should have brought my phone in here. These watches are really cool, but I can never understand what the hell's going on. I think I should say the name. Noreen Skinkar. I'm not familiar, but could be cool. Could be cool. Could be cool. Fingers crossed. Now I'm going to put Stargate in the tags around here. We got an exclusive. It's cool. Thank you, Jamie. But I will see you Sunday, man. And everybody else comes visit and chat with us on Sunday. We always got great chats going on in Sidetrack, and the last couple have been really, really good. Oh, he's showrun for Expanse. Oh, hell yes. That's really good, man. Ooh. So exclusive here. Showrunner for Expanse, maybe showrunning for Stargate series. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed on that one. We'll be optimistic. And if you love movie love and goodness, come back to MCubed. We'll be here tomorrow for Theater Thursday, and come back on Sunday for Sidetrack. And we're gonna be visiting. We're gonna be talking. We got things to talk about. So we'll see you then. Have a great day, and stay safe, y'all. Adios.